Hi, my name is Daniela Camargo, and welcome to my podcast, To Live for the Hope of It All. It's my favorite phrase, so obviously that is the reason why my podcast has to be named this way. Several topics will be discussed in this episode because it is something that I feel will be interesting to talk about. Okay, first I would like to start by talking about a topic that, at least for me, has been very difficult to cope with. Is anxiety. It is essential for topics like this to be discussed because so many people nowadays suffer from these mental disorders. The first thing that should be addressed is what is anxiety. Well, anxiety is the sensation that is experienced when a person feels worried or scared about a present or future event or situation. It is natural feeling this expressed through restlessness and fear, but usually it tends to pass. In fact, it is small amounts of worry and fear that help people stay safe and protected from dangers. However, there are times when anxiety can turn into a recurring state, making situations seem worse than they actually are, which can become overwhelming. Constant worrying can lead to prolonged anxiety, which can eventually develop into a disorder. Although anxiety is natural, it is extremely important for those who suffer from it to be monitored closely. In my personal case, because my anxiety was not treated earlier, it has developed significantly and now affects my daily life at school, at home, and my during my training. Throughout my life, psychologists were supposed to help me, but unfortunately, no improvement has been noticed. In fact, these have only gotten worse. For example, at this moment in my life, anxiety is what controls me. It shouldn't be this way, but this is what happens when it is not properly treated from the moment it begins. So, this is important, kids. Now, a book that I absolutely love needs to be mentioned. It is called Woman Who Loves Too Much. The connection that I have felt this book has been immense. It discusses how women behave in romantic relationships, but also in relationships in general. Recently, a 2-year relationship, which I believe to be with the love of my life, was ended. But through this book, a realization was made. If he truly was the love of my life, I wouldn't have been treated that way, and perhaps I loved too much. It is also felt that romantic relationship at this age, being young and having so much life ahead, are experiences differently. Even though we are young, we often give our all. And that is not necessarily wrong. It is just that many people either do not know how to receive all that love or simply do not want to. This I will say is an important topic because as someone who is highly observant, many things are perceived, including both very healthy and very toxic relationship among people my age. This book made me reflect on the fact that loving is never wrong, not at all. But as one of my favorite singers once said, we wanted each other so much that we made it burn until it started to truly burn us. And in conclusion, we are here to learn, to experience new things, to meet new people. In life, we must love as much as we can because even through ending things are painful, at least I have no regrets. No matter how much it hurts, if there is a God or destiny, this was placed in our path and it must be faced no matter what because what we experience is what defines us. Well, even through a lot has been said about how to manage these issues, which I can't even handle myself, another topic needs to be discussed. One that I have been struggling with for a long time is emotional blockages. Again, what exactly is an emotional blockage? An emotional blockage is a psychological barrier that is self-imposed and prevents people from thinking clearly in certain aspects of life. At some point in life, this physiological blockage will be experienced by everyone. When they occur, a complete loss of control over the situation and no self is felt. A state of paralysis is reached with no response to the circumstances being faced. Emotions take over and prevent progress from being made. Emotional blockage have been struggling with throughout my entire life, and to this day, no way to feel better about them has been found. But it is important to manage them. Well, lastly, gratitude must be expressed to the best English teacher I have ever had. Thanks must be given for assigning me this task, which in some way helped me reflect and think deeply about many things that have been affecting me lately. Thank you so much, Fernando. Love you.